Hello everybody and welcome to the FPL WildCats Live. Hopefully I remember how to do all of this because every time we come back after a season or a season's finished, I always seem to mess something up. So apologies in advance. But we are here with the regular cast, 4 of us here to give you answers to your FPL questions. So before I pass over to Nim, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell, and Nim, take it away.
Yeah, thanks Jay, and welcome everyone to the stream. Hope you're all enjoying your summer. Well, you know, when it's not raining, and watching all of Jay's Euro videos if you're playing the fancy Euro game, I hope. But you know what? We're here just to have some FPL chat tonight. Laid back, we can discuss a little bit of the Euros as it's happening as well. But the game came back sooner than many of us expected, though it has been released in June before, so it wasn't that much of a surprise. We've had a bit of time to tinker, so we thought it would be a good idea just to come and have a little chat about FPL, give you guys our initial reactions. You guys can give us your initial reactions. And we'll answer some early questions as well that you guys might have. So be sure to get them in the chat as we go along. So, okay, let's get started with the Twitter questions to start with. And first of all is our Wildcats regular, Nuclear Atoms. He has a couple of questions for us. And the first is, how do you approach the first couple of game weeks? Template to be safe, or differential to get ahead, or mix it up? So, Ray, how do you start off the beginning of the FPL season?
First of all, hi guys. Hope you're having a good summer. Good to get the Euros in, and but I can't help it. FPL has taken over now. I don't care about my US team, and that's maybe because
you're doing badly.
I'm doing so badly. It's hilarious. This is like really. I'm actually laughing about it now. So coming into my third year of FPL now, and I feel like I've tried to always have one. I've always tried to have one or two kind of maverick kind of differential picks, but I think this season I'm going to start off template. I think that's the way to go forward. Slow and steady, keep up with the pack. And of course, if any gems suddenly break out, for example, possibly someone like Sar or Tony, you kind of want to jump on that boat if you can. But for me, I want to go with a nucleus of 7 or 8 template solid players, and then be agile from there if need be. So yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Heading over to Kurt. Kurt, I know that we've got some expected delivery on the way of some food at some point. Loving the new haircut, buddy. It's strange to see you with so little hair, I have to say.
Bald all over.
Loving it. You look smooth as a baby's bottom. Okay then, so moving on.
Well, that's it.
So yeah, the professionalism's gone out the window.
Actually, no, keep going. Elaborate.
How do you start off the FPL season besides smooth as a baby's bottom, Kurt?
To be honest, obviously, I go on about it quite a lot. I am really not one for following templates. I'm not one for going differential. I find a player that I like and I bring them in. The percentage doesn't really come into it at first. Obviously, later on, when you start to take risks, obviously then you look at player own percentage and you think then you can grow. But for the first point, you've got to pick what you think the best team is. There's no point going with a template that you don't believe in or differentials that you don't believe in. At the moment, I'm only going on once a week whenever I see new transfers added in. So one time I've been on since the start was to put in Milot Rashica, because I feel like, albeit fixture-wise, he'll probably come out of the team immediately or sit on the bench. But someone like that is got the potential to explode in the Premier League. So just go with what you like, really. If you see a player and you think, oh, they're good priced, stick them in.
Yeah. Jay, you did a template video today. So will you be going with most of that template, or will you be forging your own path?
I mean, can I answer that my general strategy at the beginning of the game is panic?
Yeah,
that's generally what it is.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there.
I will lay down all of these plans. I've got a strategy in mind, and then the final week, and especially the final 2 days, I'll be absolutely all over the place. Yeah. So take on board.
You'll be
what I'm
set
saying
on your
now.
team, and then you'll see somebody else's team. You'll be like, oh, I like the look of that one. And then you'll be like, oh, now I like the look of that one. And then it ends up being nothing like your original one in the first place.
The way I'm going to try and approach this season is to have the core template players that I believe in, avoid new players to the league because I got burnt by Timo Werner, even though he was pretty template at the time. But I'm going to avoid anyone that I am not certain about how they will do in the league. I think there were times when it was successful, like Mohamed Salah, Ibrahimovic, they came in and did well. But generally, I prefer to wait and see. And Timo Werner, I just got caught up in the hype of his Bundesliga goal scoring record. So I think it will be pretty template for me. There will be a few of my own picks in there, and it will be mainly players that I have seen play in the Premier League, and I'm confident should have similar-ish form to what they had in previous seasons.
Yeah, so that's both of you pretty much saying that you're going to avoid Ivan Toney, by the sounds of it, Ray and Jay. So
No. I'm
you have actually got him.
Yeah,
okay, brilliant. Okay, because I was just about to say, like, I'm usually with Jay on this strategy, like, especially after also going to Werner last season. I was really set that I wasn't going to go for anyone that I didn't know or feel happy about, basically, going into this season. But I think his price for me has definitely kind of switched that up a bit. And I just, watching him in the cup and things like that, I just really feel like he can do well this season. But getting back to the question, it's a bit like Jay, really. I tend to be very focused, have quite a specific draft that I'm quite happy with for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, no matter how long the game is open. And then I get nearer to the time and I start to, as Jay said, I start to panic a little bit and start thinking, oh, I'm missing out on that player, or maybe I really should have that player. And then it changes probably way more often than it should. But it's mainly template. And then I'll have a couple of differential picks of my own, probably. So Nuclear Atom's second question was stats versus eye test. Which do you prefer? He says he prefers the eye test because stats can prove even the bad assets are actually good when they are not. So, Kurt, do you have a preference?
I mean, for new players coming in, I think if you can look at any sort of pre-season footage, the eye test is paramount. For any other players, they've played in the division before or played for the team before, stats is generally something to go by, because if someone doesn't score goals, it's very rare that someone then comes out of the blue and scores goals. And if it is like that, you look at Etienne, Capoue, Abdoulaye Doucouré, they come out for a few weeks and then just sort of go away. So for me, although I do speak highly of Milot Rashica, it would be trying to watch Norwich during pre-season, see their highlights, see how he plays.
Oh, I'm glad you told me what club he pays for.
Yeah, signing.
Should
really
I rename the stream?
Yeah, I think we should have a ticker for how many times it says his name.
Yeah.
I want it to be known that normally I make a few sort of wild judgments at the start and I don't sort of say anything else. And I think, I said that back at the start of the season. Now, if I ram it down everyone's throats enough, they'll think,
what position does he play?
More, I say he's more
Attacking
of a sort
midfielder.
of a speedy winger, attacking midfielder, can play up top, can sort of do anything really. But he's quick.
So he come from the Bundesliga?
Yeah.
Okay, I know who he is.
Yeah, quick little Kosovan player. So he can be a bit of a nifty player, and you think you've got. I just think, Norwich should have hopefully done their homework this season as well. You think Burnley went down and went back up, and then they've stayed there ever since. You think Norwich have kept most of their players, albeit Windia. They should be able to do that. I forgot what the question was anyway. What was the question? I've got a bit sidetracked on Rashid.
Stats versus stats. Yeah.
Stats if they've been in division more, if they've been in they're playing in a team before, and then if they're a new player in the team or a new player in a division, then the eye test for sure is something that you need to look at, because, like I say, Timo Werner or anyone really coming into a new division, they can take a while to warm up.
Yeah, I have to agree a little bit, actually. mostly eye test for me. I don't put much influence on the stats, though I do look at them and I do take them on board, but I much prefer an eye test, just kind of get more of a feeling for the player, whether I like, because they're humans at the end of the day, you can read body language a bit better, you can see if they're like in a good stage or whether they're having a bad patch like Aubameyang say last season. So for me it's all about the eye test. Jay, what about yourself?
Can I find a fence and sit on it? Because to be honest, I think everyone can play the game their own way. I don't think there's any right or wrong way. I have been tricked by stats. I've been tricked by eye test. So I think there's benefit in looking at both and trying to make the best decision you can out of those two. But I wouldn't want to influence anyone to go one way or the other. You have to pick what you find the more favourable way of playing the game. Yeah,
absolutely. You agree with that?
I'll get off my fence now.
I'd be a bit sore that if you stay there too long.
Yeah. I mean, it's which do you prefer? I prefer the eye test. That's usually where I make the gut calls, and I use the stats to kind of hopefully back that up because I watch enough football. So I agree with you guys. I concur 100%.
Cool. Just a couple of shout outs. We've got Ant A in the chat, Haytams in the chat, McTavis in the chat, Rishi, John Tyner and Brian, our OGs. Hi guys, hope you're all good. Nuclear's in the chat. Hope you're all good. Get those questions in, lads. I've seen a couple already. I'll try and note them down. Okay. Oh, and Brett isn't locked in the basement. He's just enjoying his.
I just said shush. Brett, shut up.
Enjoying his summer, and he's going to reassess things when he comes back. So yeah. Alpha FPL says, "Hey Nim, would be great to have a little segment on Harry Kane. I currently have him in my team with a 3-5-2. But obviously, if I sold him, it would generate significant funds. Would be great to hear your thoughts on starting with or without him. Ray, your thoughts on Harry? He's had a bit of a price hike this season."
Yeah, I've kind of built contingency plans. If he goes to Man City, I kind of have a plan to have him in, which would mean no Alexander-Arnold and no Calvert-Lewin. Okay. But if he stays at Tottenham, I can't see myself getting him for two reasons. A, their fixtures are pretty poor, and B, I don't know if his heart will be in it. So I think if Kane doesn't go to Man City, I think you can go the whole season pretty much not having Man City attacking assets, because of the rotation, especially if possibly Grealish will go as well. It's just so difficult unless you can get KDB. But I don't want to answer a question regarding overrated player, but I'll see it tough getting KDB this season. I think he's quite overly priced considering how many games he missed last season. So if Harry Kane goes to Man City, I actually don't think he'll be rested. I think he's going to play so many games. And I think he's just going to get bags and bags and bags of goals. So if he moves to Man City, I think I'm 70% sure I'll bring him in my team for game week 1, considering the kind of fixtures that they have away to Tottenham. How crazy would that be as well? You know, he plays against them and scores against them. I'd laugh all the way to the bank. But regarding Harry Kane, I think, I think I don't think he's overly priced. I thought he was phenomenal last season. I think he should be knocking around the Salah Bruno mark personally. And if he stays at Tottenham, I'll say no. But if he goes to Man City, I'll say yes. I think he could hit an incredible score next year.
Now, see, this has been my thing most of pre-season. So quite a few of the live streams I've done, and Kane has come up and we've had these discussions. I have this thing where everyone is saying no to Harry Kane at Spurs. If he stays at Spurs, it's a hard no. Nobody wants him at all. Yet I'm sat here going, Golden Boot winner, playmaker at Spurs last season. All of us had him in our teams at Spurs last season. If Harry Kane wants to stay at Spurs, for me, he wants to stay.
Penalty to Switzerland.
I know.
Oh no! Ah! Sorry, I've got France in my sweepstakes, so this is bad. Yeah. So if Harry Kane wants to, stay at Spurs, it's because he wants to stay. I don't think he's the type of player that's gonna get outbid and they'll be like, stay and we'll give you the money you want to stay at the club. I don't think he's that type of player, because if he wants to win trophies and he, that's what's important to him, then if he stays at Spurs, he truly believes he can do it at Spurs. Otherwise, there's no other real reason to stay, as far as I'm concerned. If he stays, to me, he's made that decision in his head that, he wants to be a part of Spurs. And Harry Kane is still unbelievable. He's still Harry Kane, regardless of where he is. So we could be massively overlooking him.
But now I understand what you're saying. But the cards are with Tottenham, because he has like 4 or 5 years left. So they can say no.
Oh, yes. Come on. Nice.
Sorry. Shit. Is that if they come up with an offer, Levy could say, nah, it's all right, mate, don't worry about it, you're not going anywhere. And then you've got an unhappy player.
But does he really want... He must know that just by holding on to him and having an unhappy player in the camp is going to go badly, when they could cash off on him and, get the money in the bank and go on and buy somebody better. But I get your point. I do get your point. But I think we'll know in the media whether that's the case or not.
And ultimately, that's a good point, because he won't go for any higher than this summer, isn't it? He will always drop. So
exactly. So I think we'll know that. Obviously, if he goes to City, though, it's a no-brainer. And actually, I know you said that you don't think Grealish will be that much of an option if he goes to City because of rotation, but I can't see, if they pay 100 million for him, that he's going to be sat on the bench.
I don't think money's an object with Man City, isn't it? They don't care.
I think they can bench anyone.
They'll bench anyone.
I could still see him benching Kane.
As we're talking, even I'm a bit like...
it's
I was thinking
Man City.
All this about, Kane is set and forget, but you're thinking, third game of the season, he'll be like, right, I'm going to bench Kane for a full Stein of Gundogan. You're thinking, why? Why would you do that?
I take it all back. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, it is true. I mean,
it
is Pep roulette, so but I do get what you're saying. Jay, what's your thoughts on it?
See, for me, it's not so much about if Kane stays or goes. It's about the side he's in and the other premium options there are out there. So if Kane goes to City, I see him as a more elite premium option than if Kane is at Spurs, just purely based off of the form of the sides, the way they play, the players behind Kane. So even if he decided I'm going to stay at Spurs and I'm happy to stay, I would still be thinking, well, I want Mohamed Salah. I want Bruno Fernandes.
France have scored.
Yes, get in. Go on.
So, whilst it's very interesting to talk about, does he want to go, does he want to stay, and all of that, unless he's at City, he's not in my consideration for the start of the season.
Okay, interesting. So the fact that he did so well last season with the same players. Oh,
Sorry.
You got him. No
You
worries.
too.
Well, none of my other captains have done anything all freaking round, so...
Oh, this is bollocks.
I did have Sarabia. I should have put it on Sarabia, but I bottled it. But never mind. Benzema scored.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to FPL.
Sorry, I was just saying, so even though he did quite well in that team with those players last season, it still doesn't, pull you towards him.
Not for the beginning of the season, though. Because I do just worry that one of the fixtures and two, will his heart really be in it? Because you also got the question, is Son going to really want to be at Spurs as well? And it depends what manager goes there. That's also, if anyone goes there.
Hilarious. Banter.
Kurt, what's your thoughts?
On Kane?
Yes.
I've got him in my team. I think he to be honest, he's in there.
Somebody
anyway
backing me up, finally.
Oh, he's a talent. It doesn't matter if he's hard in it. He's paid to play football.
Still good at what he does.
And obviously, being a Sheffield Wednesday fan is not something to say out loud at the moment. But France have gone 2-1 up, by the way.
Yes, get it. Yes,
Okay,
sweepstaking it.
How lucky are you to get France on the
Yeah, exactly, man. What are you talking about?
I know. Well, I picked out England. I had 2 sweepstakes. I had France in one, Portugal in the other. Portugal's not gone so well, so I really needed France to do well. And then I picked out England in both of.
Benzema.
So, and the Czech Republic, which, you know, has been a bit of a surprise for me. Yeah. So, okay then. Neil Thompson would like to know, on a similar subject, do we feel like Kane is overpriced if he stays at Spurs? So I guess, what do we think? Overpriced, or have they still priced him right regardless of where he is, just based on last season?
I mean, was he the top goal scorer last season?
Not points.
Yes. Not points, but goal scorer,
goals,
yes.
Was he the top assister last season?
Yes, because he got best playmaker, didn't he?
Well, then they've been priced right then.
I actually prefer the way they priced it this year than last year, because I think it gives people more difficult decisions to make.
More options, way more options. Yeah,
I think there were a lot of players that were a bit underpriced last year.
Yeah.
Who's that with the fan on?
Yeah, I'm getting some feedback from someone.
Oh,
Nim, is that you? No.
Is it me?
I don't think it's me.
I haven't turned anything on. I don't know if it's my computer. If it is, can you stick a filter on it, Jay?
No, because I'd stick it on everyone.
Well, that would be alright, wouldn't it?
I just muted myself. Did it stop or?
No, it didn't stop. There, it stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me then.
Let's see
Poor
what
me.
Like you're at the ocean.
Oh, we're by the beach.
You've gone on holiday.
Sorry, yeah, I have a pretty extensive laptop.
On Kane, I agree. I think he's pretty nice. No,
yeah, I think he's correctly priced too. Neil also says, what formation will be template in game week 1? For me, it would be 3-4-3, I would have thought. What do you guys think? Kurt, do you think would be the most popular template?
Formation?
Yeah.
I don't follow formation templates. I pick players that I like and they sort of fill the formation out.
Fair enough. Jay?
I think with the options we have at striker, from 8 million down, I think it's likely to be a 3-4-3 as the most popular formation.
Yeah. Agreed.
And the budget options also. You got 2, potentially we could have 2 £4 million defenders. We could have a £4.5 million viable midfielder. So 3-4-3 generally is the way if all of those pieces fall into place.
Yeah. Did you do anything to the sound so the guys can let us know if that's any better?
It's fallen, but the filter I have, I'd need everyone to be silent for a second for me to actually put into place, and I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
Okay.
We just have a moment of silence for
just tell us when.
Brett being locked up. All right. We'll see how that is for the stream. We will still hear it for the rest of us guys, but it should be all right for the stream now.
You know what? I think the template is definitely there'll be 3 forwards, but I could see 4-3-3s as well because there's some really good defenders that are well priced for me. You know, the likes. I mean, the 4.5 options are amazing for me. The likes of Lamptey, Fofana, even a couple of the Burnley lads, Cody, who knows how the Wolves manager will be defensively, and you know the likes of Diaz, Shaw, Trent, Digne. You know,
You're right there, Kurt.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people started off with 4 defenders, which is something I'm entertaining as well. So,
Is he frozen?
I'm trying to work out if he's done a picture to go and get his food or whether he literally is
hey, he's done
messing
me.
us about.
You told me stay quiet. So, hold my breath.
Yeah, dude, breathe, man, breathe. Okay.
That was strenuous.
Okay, so actually, just touching on that, then Neil said viable to go cheap at the back and rotate 1 premium and 4 at 4.5, or does the value in the 5.5 mil slots come into play? I mean, I feel like asking Kurt, but I think he'll just say, just go for the players you want.
What's the question? Go on, let's just see if I can change my answer up. What's the question?
Okay, so he says, is viable to go very cheap? Is it viable to go really cheap at the back and rotate? So in other words, have 1 premium and go 4 at 4.5, or does the value in a 5.5 million slot come into play?
I mean, that is something that you can tinker around with a bit, because obviously you can have 15 players or however many players that you like. But obviously, if you've got to rotate some of them, unless you go with 11 starting players and 4 cheap bench fodder to get the most expensive team. So that for sure is something that, I mean, I think my team at the moment has Wan-Bissaka, 3 4.5s, and then a £4 million defender. So one of them will be rotating around at the moment because I'm going quite top heavy again. So yeah, I think rotating. It's just the only problem with that is that obviously when you rotate, you run the risk of being one of those people that post something. Oh, I had insert player here on my bench this week with shocked emoji faces, sad faces, and crying emoji faces. So, got risk and reward, you know.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. What about yourself, Ray?
I think last season it was a very good finish for me, and a lot had to do with the fact I had 5 playing defenders.
Whoa! Just drop that in there. Very good finish for me.
But a lot had to do with the defenders. I had 5 playing defenders, which included Trent, Diaz, and then rotated the other 4.5s. And, they were just trickling along for me, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. And then obviously it all mounts up when you add it all together. And this season at the moment, it's more, I'll read it out. It's like Trent, Diaz, and Shaw, and then 2 4.5s. And then the idea is to attack the fixtures properly. So I'm kind of counter answering the question, but I think having 5 playing defenders is key. I think if you're going to use 4.5 million as fodder somewhere, I'd rather have it on a defender that will play and potentially get some returns. The likes of Ayling and these kind of players as well. So I definitely think Trent is the way to start the season. If he plays, I mean, that's another thing as well. He is injured at the current moment. So with a calf injury as well, it's not something that you can just brush off quickly. He needs to get a half decent preseason. So, if he is going to be back, I'm very likely to have him in my team. I think he's extremely explosive. They got good fixtures, but I'll be honest with you, you can make a fantastic back line with Shaw and then 4.5 million players, and then a bit like Kurt, go top heavy. I think you could have a really good defense actually for very cheap.
Yeah, so I had Digne in my first draft, but I'm hearing that he might have picked up an injury today. So maybe the chat can tell me something about that, because I haven't been following, Euros, or I don't know whether he picked up in this match or whether
it was the last match.
The last match, was it? Okay, so we don't know how serious it is. But him at 5.5 with Everton's opening fixtures for me was like, yes, please, But other than that, Trent, as you say, if fit, kind of feels like the main premium to have. And then the rest a bit cheaper, although Soufal at 5 million is going to be pretty hard to ignore. With that, Hitam did say, what do you guys think about TAA and Robbo double up? So what do we think on the Trent Robbo double up, Jay?
I'd say it's probably a bit too rich for my blood at the start of the season, just because of who I'm trying to fit elsewhere. It's definitely a viable strategy, though, because we know that if Liverpool do return to the defensive form of previous seasons before the last one, then of course...
Do we know where Virgil van Dijk is in his return? Because that could make a massive difference to that.
Stepping up pre-season quite well. That's the reason why he he made the decision to not play in the Euros.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so apparently he's all set to play pre-season games, let alone the start of the season.
Okay, so we could maybe get a bit of a look. It doesn't mean everything, but we could maybe get a look at some pre-season games.
And they got the new defender as well, isn't it? They got a new defender, Konate, and he's top quality for Sevilla. Am I right? They bought him from Sevilla, I think.
So where does he slot in?
I feel like it was Leipzig, but I'm not.
Is he
I think you're
central?
right. You're right. Sorry, you're right.
Is he central? Is he winger?
Yeah, he's a
centre
back.
Centre back.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they'll have him,
okay.
Gomez, Van Dijk, and Matip. So they got some serious strength for next season.
Okay, and then Neil's last question was, could you go 3 strikers around 6.5 to 8.5 million? Is Tony going to be in every draft? Well, Neil, I have a budget forwards video coming out tomorrow morning if you'd like to know more.
Wait, you're beating me to a video.
Here.
Cheap plug there. Make it at 6 a.m. You might beat Jay.
Wait, yeah. No. I'm going to make it now. See you lot later.
Let me have this one, please.
Don't worry, I have no video scheduled on budget forwards yet.
Okay, yet. But yes, it is very viable to go for 3 strikers around 6.5 to 8.5 million. In fact, that's exactly what I have at the moment. And for me, Tony is definitely a viable option. He's also in my first draft at the moment. I don't think he will be in every draft though, for the reasons that Jay pointed out earlier, is that there will be a lot of burnt people from last season with the likes of Werner that will not want, and Mitrovic, that just will not want to go there again. So that's my thought on the
To clarify
budget
what
strikers.
I meant about, like, with Werner, I would be much more comfortable taking a punt on Tony at his price.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's
with
fair.
Werner.
Fully concur.
But I still
Fully.
probably won't go Tony myself. But I still remember 2 years ago when I didn't go with Pookie at the start of the season.
Likewise.
That was painful.
And Bamford last season, to be fair. Brian said, I hope Nim includes Benteke in a budget forwards video. Tune in tomorrow, Brian, to find out. I'm
She
not
has,
giving anything
because
away.
if she hasn't, Mig would have deleted it. He'd have hacked into the system and gone, nope. Redo that one, Nim.
That one's not allowed. The computer says no. But does anyone have any other thoughts on whether you shouldn't go 3 strikers around 6.5 to 8.5? Or are we all in kind of agreement that that's the way to go this season?
Unless you want Kane, I can't see any reason why that isn't the way to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to be honest, I think FPL has specifically done it that way to make it more difficult for us. So there's going to be a lot of people jumping from one player to another because they're going to be very similar priced. So it's going to be very interesting this season, I think, to see how long we last on a player, whether we're patient or whether because they're similar price and another player has a better fixture that week, whether we'll just automatically jump quite quickly to that new player and think, ooh, shiny. So, yeah.
Wilson to do well in the first 2 game weeks, and then everyone jumps on board and he doesn't score.
Yep.
Yeah. And I get to use my famous Wilson gif. Okay, FPL Casual, Aiden, says he has a question for all of us. He'd like us to name our most undervalued player. So I'm assuming he means going into this season as opposed to last season.
Yeah.
So Ray, would you like to kick us off on that one?
Yeah, Aiden, how you doing, man? FPL Casual, FPL juicer for Chelsea, while I'm FPL juicer for Arsenal, unfortunately. Most undervalued player, Rafinha. I couldn't believe what they priced him at. Couldn't believe it. I was because Bamford being 8 and Rafinha being 6.5, so Rafinha with a bullet. And I mean, can I answer the second one? The overvalued? Can I?
Yeah. Sorry, you did ask 2.
Sorry.
The other one was overvalued. So yeah, crack on. You can group them together.
Sadio Mane. I had about top 3, but Mane was top. I can't believe they priced him only 0.5 under Salah, considering last season. No way anyone will go for him unless Salah goes to the Olympics or something like that and he's unavailable. But even then, I don't think I'll go Sadio Mane.
Go Jota.
So, I'll probably go Jota, right?
Yeah.
And then be all over the place.
I actually touted him in my prediction video to be one of the top scorers this coming season. So yeah, shizzle, my friend.
But yeah, Sadio Mane. I mean, okay, 11 goals, 11 assists, cool, 22 returns. But when you compare it to Mohamed Salah and only costing 0.5 less, I think it's shocking pricing. Absolutely. Yeah. For me, he should have been 11.
I actually feel very similar with Watkins. I think he's been quite undervalued this season. I think if Bamford's 8 million, I was expecting Watkins to be somewhere near that, given how well he did last season. So they have fairly decent start to the season as well, Villa. So I think that's, I'm assuming, breaking news. Kurt's food has arrived.
Look at the mug. Oh, he's gone.
Pick
who you want. I'll answer for him. Pick who you want. Yeah, just whoever you like. If they're handsome, whatever, just go for him. Yeah.
So Kurt thinks the most undervalued player is Harry Kane.
Or Rashika.
Yes.
Rashika. His answer to both questions. Rashika.
So my most overvalued player, if he has the same season as last season, which hopefully goes on to pass as new and doesn't, but possibly Sterling.
Yeah, that was my number 2.
Yeah, because it just feels like he hasn't really kind of been in the season fold.
What a goal.
Oh, what? Are we 3? Are we 3? I'm sorry, I watched this.
Ridiculous goal by Pogba. Why does he not do that for Man United?
We need Kurt's sound effects. Where are the sound effects, Kurt? We need some sound effects for all these France goals, Kurt. We're relying on you.
It's all right, Spain are going to do him.
We answered for you, by the way, for your question.
Most undervalued is Kane. Most overvalued is also Kane.
Oh, well, he did say the same player for both, but it's not the way.
Stop doing these silly little...
I did say you would say Kane.
Non-abject answers. Ridiculous.
But we did think you'd go for the... We did think you'd go for the player that
I thought you'd go for Rashika.
Yeah.
No, Rashika's got a good price. Albeit, I don't think you can call him undervalued, but Nicolas Pepe for the end of the season. But if you do the season as a whole, then yeah, you're probably also looking at him potentially being a bit overpriced. Just he started firing at the end. As always, I think the strikers coming up from the Championship are always a bit overpriced. Because very rare is there one that will be up there at the end of the season, one of the biggest point scorers.
What, you mean like Bamford?
Very rarely.
Okay.
I mean, Timu Pukki, when Norwich came up, was he scoring like Bamford the entire season?
Fair.
And to be fair, Patrick Bamford surprised most of the Leeds quadrant as well. They said, "Oh no, he's not really that good." Oh, well, he's not that bad actually. You know, Patrick Bamford. Another player I quite like the look of, which I don't think has been mentioned. Well, I don't know if it's mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
We thought we said breaking news that your food had arrived.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. Thank God that my sources were correct.
I agree.
Tomato sauce and brown sauce.
Fofana at 4.5 is quite a good cheap player. Now, granted, Leicester come into the from last season not being the most secure team, but they can change their fortunes around. They keep the main players fit. Fofana at 4.5, potential also attacking returns. He's a bit flexible. I think he's not a bad start. Well, in my team.
Yeah.
And at 4.5, you can bench him if they've got a tough game. So quite nice to have.
Oh, here we go. One Pogba goal. Pogba pulled off another new dance move. Pogba might be a better option than Bruno. Oh, it's going to be Twitter madness now. Everyone's squeezing him into
there are a few
questions.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Right then. Let's move on to the chat questions.
I can do them. I don't mind.
Yeah, go on then. Go on, buddy. Yeah, crack on.
So, Nim, we'll start with
Seeing as you've got Brett in the cupboard.
Exactly. Yeah, Brett.
You can take his
You've
role.
still got him doing the questions. Nice.
Brett. Okay, this is from Mark, and this is for you, Nim.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the newly promoted players? How many is too much?
More
Never
than
too
one.
much, never too much.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I was gonna say just the one, but actually Sa is on my radar as well as Tony. So
we spoke before the stream. I love it.
But that's mainly based on what we know from him from the Premier League already. So he's not like a completely new person to the Premier League. I wouldn't be tripling up. I'm only really considering Tony based on his price. I think if he'd been any more, then I don't think I'd really have risked him without knowing very much or how he'll adapt to the Premier League. So I think 1 or 2 is okay, but I don't think that you'd be necessarily wanting a triple up. And to be honest, I think it's also absolutely fine to avoid them completely until you know about them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And like I said, that's probably why I won't go Sa. If I'm honest, I probably would go Rafinha just because I feel more kind of comfortable with him and I know what we got from him last season and that 6 million spot. I think I just preferred to be him based on that. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's absolutely fine to kind of hold your horses. But I also think that it's not a bad thing to take a bit of a punt on a couple at a cheap price, as long as they're unlikely to really fall in price, because that's where we can fall into these traps quite easily early on in the season, is that we can go in on these promoted assets thinking they're nice and cheap and they'll do us brilliantly. But obviously we do have to bear in mind that if they fail, they can fall in price pretty fast and we can end up in a bit of trouble with losing some value.
Jay?
I'm personally going to avoid all promoted players because I feel like this isn't a season where we have like a Leeds, where I was excited when Leeds come up because of the type of football they played and the way they'd played against some Premier League clubs in the FA Cup. I don't feel that way about any of the current promoted sides where I'm confident enough to bring... Have they? Sorry. Not on my screen yet because I'm on a stream.
I gave up checking because keeps ruining it.
But yeah,
I missed who scored.
Switzerland scored.
Oh no.
Severovic. But yeah, I'm probably going to go with none at the beginning. I do have my eyes on Sa, and I will of course keep my eyes on Rashika because he's been so heavily touted. But yeah,
on this stream, you heard it here first.
If I really want to save money in goal, there's the potential of going for the 2 Watford keepers, 4.5 and 4 million. But other than that, I really don't think I'm going to go anywhere near the promoted sides.
See, it's Tony. It's his stats. The fact that they're so much better than even Bamford's were the season before. That's the thing. For me, it almost doesn't feel like it matters how rubbish Brentford are. As long as they get him the ball, there's a chance that he'll score. That's kind of my thing with Tony. I mean, it's ridiculous the strategy he has.
I think he's record scorer since it became the Championship. It's the most anyone's ever scored in one season.
31 goals, yeah.
The thing is, Bamford's stats weren't amazing coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, Pukki and Mitrovic did have good stats coming up and weren't good. So I just feel like with Watkins around, Ian Nacho around, Dominic Calvert-Lewin around...
Well, yeah, that's the other way to go, isn't it?
Antonio, although he's going to get injured at some point, so that's a transfer headache. But other than that, Antonio. But yeah, I feel like I can always drop quite easily to one of them if they really do look like.
Yeah, and that's the other option. To be honest, that is my other thought process. But I would have to find the extra cash for Calvert-Lewin at the moment, which would mean dropping KDB, which, seeing as he's now injured, would be easier to do. But originally I had him set in my team because he just looked so good in the Euros. And City, when KDB is fit, he plays. We saw that the season before. So he was kind of the one player, I guess, I was hoping I'd have in, above like a premium asset that I'd have in over others. But now that injury, it's made me a little bit nervous. So that would allow me to free up the cash that would allow me to go back to a Calvert-Lewin at the start and maybe allow me to think again on whether or not to have Tony in my team. Thanks, John, and let me know about Murray Mint. I'm glad he's 5-3 up. I'm glad to hear that. Kurt, your thoughts on...
I'll let him have a couple of bites. I'll take the question.
Oh, sorry, yeah, of course. Yeah, go on then, buddy. You do another one and we'll...
No, I don't mind. It's
go on.
basically come cold anyway, so...
I was gonna answer the question.
Oh, okay, go on then.
But for me, currently, I have Foster, just as my bench fodder keeper, who might actually play. Ismail Assar, he really impressed me at the end of the season before last, like you rightly said. Got 12 returns in about 30 odd appearances, not great, but I expect Watford to give a better account this season than the season that they got relegated. And also with Tony, yeah, a bit like you, Nim. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with him. The good thing is trying to be agile, so that's why I'm trying to have like 0.5 in the bank, maybe, just in case it doesn't go right, or 1 million. Exactly. To give him a couple of weeks. If it doesn't work out, just move on. The problem with Tony is if I go for him and I don't have money in the bank and I want to get him out, I'm probably going to need to get a midfielder like Rafinha. I'm going to have Rafinha. But for example, if I went for Harrison, I have to make 2 subs because there's no one really around that price point that interests me to replace Tony. With Sarr, however, you do have a few options, isn't it? You have, who knows, Stuart Dallas might hit the ground running again and get his returns. Other Saka is 6.5.
Sorry, they scored again, but it was ruled offside.
Offside. I'd already seen it. I just didn't want to ruin it for anyone. But...
So, Mark, to answer your question, I'd say 2 is good. Maybe take a punt on a couple. Obviously, you're not putting all your chips in them, isn't it? You're not going to captain any of them. And in the
sod it, Bat Shizzle, Tony, first week, triple captain. Let's go against Arsenal. Let's do it.
And if he scores,
hat trick.
If he scores and you cheer, locked. Arsenal fan.
I mean, FPL means a lot to me, buddy. No, to be fair, that is one of the maybe I have my Arsenal goggles on when it comes to Tony as well, knowing that he plays Arsenal first and knowing how bad our defense has been in the past. I don't know. There is just something about that first game that just shouts to me that he'll score a brace. I just feel like it'll be a brace, and I have no idea why. Haven't dreamed it yet.
Let me know when you dream it.
I will do, buddy. I'll let you know.
Kurt, your thoughts, mate, on the promoted players. How many would you go for? Muted.
Yeah,
every time. There had to be one time.
Because I'm eating. The other times I don't know how I do it. I must have a.
This isn't a mukbang.
Why not? Quick, change the
Jay, what do you think about the promoted players?
Rashika.
Who do I
ASMR, man. ASMR.
Rashika.
I've got 3 technically. Tony is 1 because I just feel like he's sort of Brentford could effectively kick the ball up to him and he'll do the rest. He's got a good, fast, powerful striker and he's got the goals to back him up. Rashika's a second one, but he's a new player coming in, obviously in a promoted team. And again, I just feel like he is going to be a bit of a nightmare for teams. The only other one I've got is Ben Foster. because I thought he played a lot last season when I did my team, and he was 4 million. So I just stuck him in because I've got Sanchez at the moment in front of him. So yeah, I only really got 2. But
he played half the games for Watford last year in the Championship. So I think they legit played 50-50.
Well, I think from watching the Austria game, I think he was first choice keeper, and then he got injured, and then Bachmann came in, and that's why Bachmann's in the Euros.
Right. Okay.
But I'm not sure what other keepers they got on the game. Yeah, it's just Foster and Bachmann, but Bachmann's 4.5. So I'm not sure if Ben Foster starts and he's a steal at 4 million. You can just keep him there.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Also, he's
apart
got
from that, I wouldn't go many more than
check
3 because then you are. Well, I've got all 3 teams covered, but I wouldn't go any more because it is yeah. You've seen Fulham come up and go down, and then come
Mitrovic.
up and then go down. So it can be a risky game to play.
Cool. Next question from Hatim Kitana. Hi guys, what are your thoughts about Bruno's Euro performance? Bruno with no pens is just not worth the 12 million price tag, in my opinion. Thoughts? So, Jay, your thoughts on Bruno's performance at the Euros, and of course that segue into FPL.
So just quickly, does Bruno not have pens then?
Ronaldo.
But for United he still has pens.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. But also, I feel like the way Portugal played, I think they tried to force too many of their attacking players in at the beginning, which I don't think really helped them out that much going forward. And it's a completely different system. It's international football. I wouldn't take too much of what happens in the Euros into the Premier League. He's been absolutely phenomenal for Man United. Tailed off a little bit at the end of the season.
I was going to say, it did tail off at the end of the
season.
How many games did he play after another?
All of them.
Was it that though, or was it with Pogba coming back in and taking, some of that kind of... They seem to get in each other's way quite a lot towards the end of last season.
Personally, I think Bruno burnt out, personally. He was playing every game, like Jay said. Like, all of them. And full, isn't it? He's playing like 80, 90 minutes each game.
I would give him the benefit of the doubt at the start of the season, purely because he was just so good for so long. And I feel like it was always going to have a period where he would drop off a bit because he was flogged. A bit like Harry Kane has been at Spurs sometimes. So I still like Bruno, and I think we can't take.
Do you think he'll get much rest though? Like, I know he's out of the Euros now, but
he'll get a bit of rest. And I think he's a very professional player, and I think it's not that he's not a fit player. I think just when you play that many games over and over, and they have that free triple game week as well, and all that kind of stuff.
No!
Oh, I can finally talk about it. God damn it! God damn it!
Did they equalise?
It's 3-3, yeah. It was a good finish as well.
Bastard, I love you.
Switzerland
3-3. I'm even telling my wife.
What a turn
Switzerland
and finish.
3-3.
He turned that defender, whoever that was, sent him down. Mugged him off.
What a day of knockouts.
Oh my God, please don't go out France. That ruins my Euros.
Oh, it'll be brilliant. I'll catch Jay. It'll be so funny. No, but Jay, on that point that you made, it's very likely they're going to get Sancho now. I actually feel that makes Bruno more appealing because of the extra attacking prowess.
It's hard to go without him.
Up front.
I will give you that. It's very, very hard to go into
Sancho's
a season without Bruno.
Too.
Yeah, that
9.5, 9.
See him and Greenwood though. I'm feeling like, can I have them? Can I have a United asset cheaper than Bruno that's attacking? So
but
that's
how many
my
of us
only thing.
But I did that last season and it just burned me. I had Martial and Rashford and I got no points in the first month. Bruno racked him.
Yeah.
Thing is, Sancho is good at
so
creating
hard.
and scoring, and I would feel like I might have to make a choice at some point.
Yeah,
I would stick with Bruno at the beginning, but I feel like it would definitely.
Well, you say that, it depends what Sancho gets priced at. If he's like 9.5.
If Sancho's under 9, then
you can bet your ass.
Well, also,
then my rule of not going for players new will go out the
window.
Yeah.
Obviously, another thing to mention with Bruno, it's not as if Bruno's gone to the Euros with his Manchester United team playing the way Manchester United do, with the same backroom staff, the same manager, same everything. He's gone to not a completely foreign setup, but it's one that's completely different. So
where he's not the main man because it's Ronaldo.
Yeah,
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, so there's nothing really to be worried about. He's got an extended, break now rather than going all the way through to the final. So I see it as a positive.
I just think
it's offside.
Did he?
It was offside.
Oh, was the goal offside?
No,
wait,
still stood.
I'm assuming another goal scored and it was offside.
Oh.
It must have been way offside though, because my Bet365 didn't put up. So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch off. Can we not talk about it?
No, but
I already missed the Spain game. I'm a bit like.
I think the only thing that concerns me, Bruno, is that drop off towards the end of last season, and then the fact that we haven't really seen.
Sorry, it did count.
I was going to say I did think it did, but then we haven't really seen it go into the Euros. Like we haven't seen it any difference in the Euros, and I think that's the slight concern I have between the way he finished and the fact that we never really seen much of a difference in the Euros to make us think, okay, either way. And that's my slight concern. But I am with you. If KDB is injured, I would rather stick Bruno in that spot and be able to downgrade to somebody or move on to another premium in that spot, I think, than going really low with my money and then wanting him back later, if that makes sense. So now that KDB is kind of, I need to know how bad that injury is, or maybe I don't want to, oh no, you're like, oh.
No,
that's why Jay made the face. That's why Jay made the face.
Oh no, they scored again.
No,
they hit the bar.
Hit the crossbar. France hit the crossbar.
Oh
no! Let's turn this into a watch along.
Well, it pretty much is. But yeah, that's the concern with Bruno for me. But it is scary to go without him, and if KDB doesn't do much pre-season because of injury, then that spot will move to Bruno for me, unless Sancho comes, and then I might have a little rethink again. Okay, so do we have another question?
We do, yeah. McTavius answering the big one out of all of them. Where did everyone go on their holidays, if anywhere?
I went to London to see my nan, who I didn't see for a year and 3/4. So yeah, that was pretty much my holiday. Where'd you go, Kurt?
He's taken down his curtain board.
Nice.
Showing where he's actually at.
Well, Jow. He's on the new edition of Love Island right here. Look.
I would not survive on Love Island without saying the C word a few times to a couple of those wankers on there, but we'll leave it at that.
I love how
I feel like you'd headbutt someone as well.
Who do you support? Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield who? Bang! How dare you?
A few more questions here that we've kind of answered.
Hang on, where did you go? Where did Jay go?
I didn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
My holiday is the start of the season, start of the Premier League season, because my wife has a habit of booking our holiday right when the season starts. So game week 2 videos are an absolute nightmare for me.
I just get the feeling that Jay had like a 2-week holiday planned. He's there at the airport, bags packed. He just gets a notification. The game's live. Just turns around and walks off. Doesn't say anything to his family. But
sorry, babe.
Jay, where are you going? Sorry, love. The game's live. And walks off. That's it. Disappears.
We ain't going to Mykonos this month. I'm sorry.
I think I came home Monday night and was like, babe, I'm going to make an FPL video because I think the game's going to be live tomorrow. And I was right. But she was like, why are you making a video when it's not even live yet?
Because he had insider knowledge. That's why.
No, it's because I had too many prices released. I was like, I can pretty much make a video.
Yeah, to be fair. guys, if you're new watching, haven't subscribed, please do so. I don't know, but your name may appear on the screen.
Should be. It's been a while, but it should be.
If you do, and yeah, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live next. If you're enjoying the content. Okay, Ray, do we have another?
No.
Oh, okay.
We kind of answered the questions around the double up of Liverpool. A few questions about Brett. I don't know.
When was the last time you fed him?
I fed my cat at about 9 p.m.
You can't give too much away in case the police are watching.
Yeah. His name is Greg. I do have a question for you guys, actually, for myself. Are you happy that the game was released so quickly?
Good question. As a content creator, there's two ways I can go with this. On one hand, no, because I was not ready. And it now feels like quite a long time between it opening and it starting. On the other hand, having the opening over and done with now means the game is open. So as a content creator, you can kind of, it's open and it's done. The prices. You can kind of make a bit of content. You can plan already with knowing that it's done and open, if that makes sense. But my initial reaction is no. It was a bit too soon, I think, especially with the Euros on. But yeah, Kurt, happy the game's open?
I'd say yes. For me, yeah. Obviously, I don't create content at the moment, so I can't speak on that part. But I just think there's too many fantasy games, and I think releasing it this early, I'm not sure if anything else has been released, but it also means now that through the Euros, clubs, and you've already seen it, people they've tweeted, clubs are tweeting and be like, oh, you can also get him on FPL. So it feels like in general, the game's going to grow a bit bigger this season, be played by more people because it's been tweeted about a lot more. It's got a lot more time to get people in. So I think in general, that will sort of relay into obviously content creation because more people will think, I need tips, go to YouTube, hopefully find you guys. And it will, in the general, just add more and more people to the cogs. So I think in general.
So what you're saying is, if I carry on playing FPL long enough, there'll be enough players that if I stick around the OR of the last two seasons, I'll finally get into the top 10% again.
No, like opposite.
Yeah.
Funny that, yeah. I was doing some stats and I just got really angry. I was like, oh, I wish I was playing like 6 years ago because these kind of scores would get me in like top 3K and stuff. The game is ever growing. I think 3 seasons ago it was 4 million and then last season it was 8 million. So it's just going to grow and grow and grow. I think getting into the top 100K is going to be the top 10K, the new top 10K, because there's so much more material. There's so many more content creators like the two of you put out good work. Obviously there's the websites as well. There's just Twitter, everything. You can't not find helpful data everywhere. And it's just reaching out more numbers as well. So I'm personally happy it came out this early. I can't help it. I love it. So, yeah.
Kev Mac in the chat. Nuclear said, which of the first prices made you angry? Did any of the prices make you angry?
Yeah, Mane. I think Mane was on the price reveal, wasn't he? Who's on the initial price reveal list? Mane.
No, I think Liverpool announced Mane.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
I legit got angry. I couldn't believe how he was priced because I had an idea to try and get him in because I expected him to be about 11, but yeah.
Yeah. Jay, any that bothered you?
I wasn't particularly happy with Mane. I kind of thought KDB should be a little bit cheaper just because of the amount of injuries as well.
Same.
But I wouldn't say any of them angered me.
By
the way, apologies to whoever subscribed or did something, but it literally popped on my screen and disappeared really quickly.
You took it back.
Who it was. Who might have taken it back.
Like
Apologies. Thank you very much for whoever did. Put it in the chat if it was you. Don't ever put
let
it
us
in the
know.
chat. Just the person that did it.
So would anyone consider the Mane Salah double up instead of going for Bruno?
Well, just to say, when I saw Mane's price, I put a fist through my wall. I was absolutely livid. I saw that price and I thought, how dare you? And now I've got a great big gaping hole between my next door neighbour. Fortunately enough, I've actually got on quite well since it.
Well, it's a good job your next door neighbour is the Caribbean.
Exactly. I don't even live here, so I just poke my hand through to a bit of.
Was it the shack? Was it the shack next to you?
Is it like
shack?
Is it like when we play Minecraft? Is that a portal behind you?
Effectively, yeah. I don't think you can consider double up, especially if Liverpool blitzed the league like Man City had. You think, yeah, but I don't think you can consider double up because they didn't, and I don't think they're going to make the changes that they should have made last season at the moment. So, if they don't, and other teams make signings around them, they will continue to be far away from first. So, no, I don't think you can consider it at all.
I think you'd consider more Jota with Salah.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll get effectively a lot of game time.
I hope so. I hope this will be his season. And
then we can't see it. I mean, about that, I mean, it's very rare that top teams will go like more than 3 years of rotation with like the same strikers or same forwards. And I think this is entering like Liverpool's 5th or 6th season of Firmino, Mane and Salah. I think you've got to break it up. You just have to. I think it's becoming quite stagnant. It's just a question of who would it be. Personally, it should probably be Firmino because I think he's not performed well for the last couple of seasons. But yeah, I think Jota's going to have a huge say to what happens. They almost scored. Thank God. Good save.
Neil, you can always watch the replay tomorrow if you're finding it hard to watch both the football and us at the same time.
And Neil, if it was you who subscribed, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It was
me. What do you mean? Only just now? I mean, it's shocking behaviour from a wildcat.
I mean, I've said it from day one. I've been anti-Brett. I think he brings a bad vibe. I think he's horrible to the viewers. I think, in general, I think he's one of the worst content creators out there.
Where's the mute button? Where's the mute button?
You've got it.
This was a very slow burner for me to eventually replace Brett. Kurt thought I was replacing him the whole time. But actually...
I have to admit, I was stunned when I was brought into the boardroom and there was Lord Alan Sugar and then Nim. And the three of us were sitting there alongside Brett, and it was Brett that got the boot. I thought, that is a shocker. That is something you didn't
see that
expect.
one coming, did you? No, that was a plot twist right there.
I just said I run the OBS, and I've got let's leave. So that was all right.
I do the tech. I need that. You stay, Shantae. You stay. I hope you did a slut drop before you left.
We don't need to discuss what happened in the boardroom. Thank you.
Okay, that's a WildCats After Dark episode right there. Which I feel like we've kind of got into now anyway. We're just pretty much doing a watch along at this point.
Well, Benzema's been substituted off. Anyone that owns him, he's been subbed off.
Okay, welcome Nanand.
Done my job.
That's okay. It pretty much is just a party right now, I'm afraid. We've gone past chatting about FPL and we're now just discussing life and RuPaul's Drag Race and boardrooms.
And Murray winning, which is brilliant. So
yes,
happy.
About Murray winning, yes. Hope he goes on to win it. It's going to be tough. Is Federer playing this season? I do love Roger.
Yeah, Federer's in the same quarter as Djokovic. So if it goes to plan, he'll play Djokovic in the quarterfinals, which would be unbelievable.
That will be pretty unbelievable. Does anyone have any more FPL questions for us while we're
Nenad's just joined, so if he's got a question.
Yeah, let us know, Nanand. Or anyone else for that matter.
No, just Nenad.
Come on, let the others ask a question. I've got a question for you all. What ID did you get?
Oh, some cack.
Does it matter?
No.
Well, apparently it does still.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
what do you mean? No, you
does.
Did you find it?
No,
You
the person who sat here
pick your
refreshing
team.
every 2 seconds until she got
Pick my
View
team.
game week
View game week history, and then it's in your browser.
Oh, 74383. That's what I
Oh,
got.
wow, that was really good, Kurt. For somebody who doesn't pay much attention.
I got 5567.
I got 12198.
5567.
Yes.
Jay? Wow.
12198.
Wow, nice.
What do you get?
I was in the 600s. I'm just
Jeez.
looking now.
She's going nice to us.
She's in the top K. She's in the top K.
I was close to my target, if that helps.
What was your target?
69,420. I was almost there. I just went a bit overboard. Only 5,000 away.
Nim,
So
come on, man.
long-winded. I really wish they'd just
They should do it on the app.
Yeah, you should just have it as your
Yeah.
No,
thing.
it doesn't really matter.
649.
Look at you, top K.
Yeah.
So on livefpl.net, when they do the top 10K for the first game, you're going to be part of those stats.
Screenshot it and send it to me.
Wait,
I'll
I'm
post
part
it
of the top
everywhere.
10k then.
Yeah, you got better than me, didn't you?
Never
500?
Never
No.
mind.
5527. You're missing a 5 there.
Oh.
So yeah. So Nim and Jay. So guys, make sure you follow them on Twitter and their videos, because when they send the videos out, who they choose will be part of those livefpl.net stats.
So wait, can I post videos now going top 10k?
Yeah.
You can say
First game week. Me and you, Jay, top 10k.
I'm gonna
Game
message
week 1 team
Ragaboli.
selection, top 10k.
Yeah, top 10k. Let's do it.
Well, you can go top 1k, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Oh my gosh, I really can. I can melt this. No, literally, I just was like, refresh. I just got a bit lucky, I think.
See, even if I'd tried, I'd have refreshed for
Good
like
question.
a minute and then have gone, nah. I'm done.
Yeah.
My kids wouldn't let me refresh for that long without playing some sort of
Oh
attention.
wait. Nenad has just said that he's 647,275. That's only like 17k off the total players. So he literally probably just joined today.
Love it. Kev Mac 47. Wow, that's master refreshing right there. That's somebody with practice. I don't have that kind of refresh practice.
Mig got a decent one, 3,067.
Nice.
John Tyner just outside 200k because he has a life, obviously. Here's a question from Nuclear. And Nuclear, this is the last one from you, all right? Is how
you putting him on cap, like at the
18.
bar, like
Yeah.
sorry, like no more for you. We've had too many already.
All our retention is because of Nuclear. But anyway, how limited will you try to make your total hits for the season? And I have to start with Kurt because I think he'd done 1 a week last season. But Kurt, how many?
No, it was at least 5 weeks.
How many? Now I'm gonna re-say it. How many hits will you not limit because you're limitless? But how many hits do you think that you will do next season? So there are 37 game weeks you can do it because obviously you can't take hits on the first game week.
He could try.
He tried. Last season he tried.
Does his free hit in the first game week.
Oh wait.
Why isn't it working?
Sorry, I'm muting myself
Where's
again.
the chip gone?
I'm gonna go with 42 hits.
You could limit it
Wow.
to 35 because obviously you've got a second wildcard in that I'll use, and then free hit. Well, actually not free because you still make changes for the free.
Yeah, but free
30,
hit you don't
36.
get.
I think I made a hit on the week I played free hit just to try and get a few price rises before I went there as well. I'm not sure. I said that at the start of the season because it was more to make the point of I didn't really see hits as a bad thing, because if you take a hit on someone and then they score a hat trick and they're captain, all of a sudden it's like, it's a -4 for what? It's a +20 odds. So I'll probably go over solid 10 to 15. Not really sort of forced of hits, because I felt like in the end I did sort of look at teams and think, my team's good. I could take a -8 and get a better team and think, that adds to my numbers. So
also, I think the Diagne decision you made completely broke you. So I think you've changed.
And if you just held on, he actually came into his own a couple of weeks later as well.
I'm going to be joining Brett.
Oh no,
taking
we lost Ray.
Yes, it's happened.
It's actually happened.
Come on.
Oh no.
Kurt, are you ready? Are you on the ball?
Changed your vision.
You.
No, I'm back.
Oh, he's back. I was gonna say.
No.
How funny would it be if Brett's face just popped?
Okay, there's a penalty check, by the way.
Oh, okay. For who?
Oh my god!
I've not got any notifications.
No.
Not given.
Okay,
yeah, it's not a penalty. It should be, but it isn't. But it should be. Just saying. It should be.
Go on.
Yeah. Me.
Sorry, repeat what you were saying, because we didn't get any of it.
Sorry, Mick just said Brett pulled his plug.
Hits.
That's enough of that.
No dessert. Go on, Jay, on hits.
Oh, hits. Mm-hmm.
Jay on hits.
I am going to try and limit myself, but I think I said this last season, and then I still went and took loads of hits. I feel like it was almost probably like maybe 40% success rate on hits, but just there were some situations where I didn't need to make the extra transfer. There were some situations where I should have. For instance, Jack Grealish, I held him for way too long when Smith was saying he'll be back soon, and then he never returned until like game week 36 or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to try and be take a lot more consideration with my transfers, and I think hopefully because this season won't be so quick a turnaround, as in the fixtures coming so thick and fast. Maybe I'll get more time to think about it, so I won't feel as rushed, and I'm hoping to take less hits. But I'm not going to give an answer on how many hits I think I'll take, because I think that depends on how the season goes.
Nim?
I love a hit. Oh, I love a batch shizzle hit. I love it. I can't help it. Literally, somebody tells me to do one thing and I just love to do the opposite. I feel like I would like to try and do well in front of my Nymfam this season, because I do feel like the last few seasons I have played a bit more liberal, I guess, had a bit more fun with it, taking transfers. But then I can sit here and say I'm not going to take as many hits, but there were times last season where those hits absolutely dragged me out of a hole. Like I was 4 million at one point and managed to drag myself up to, around 500k, and from there then I managed to drag myself up into 200k. So taking those hits made a massive difference to me. I don't see them as a bad thing. I just don't. I mean, I really don't. I just see it as if your team needs it, then take them. But I could be more patient. Sonny is a perfect example of that. Although, to be fair, Jose did convince all of us he wouldn't be playing that match. So, but yes, I do feel like I could be a bit more patient. I think the one thing Jay does very, very well every season is he's very patient with his players. Sometimes too patient, but he is very patient with his players, and I could take a bit of a leaf from his book. I'm not great at that.
Yeah, I think hits are fine. It's just being methodical, not trigger happy, and that's something I really tried to focus on last season compared to the season before. Is to just, when someone is having a shocker, sleep on it before you make any changes. And in my debut season, I wasn't doing that. I was just like, oh yeah, bring out Sterling and put in this, just against my way of thinking, actually.
Yeah.
But if you're methodical about it, like I took a hit to bring in Mane last season. Mane smashed it because I thought he would. It's take hits when it's methodical and constructive, not reactionary. Because if a player plays poorly, you're angry, you're pissed off. My only advice, which I think I said last season as well, is just sleep on it before taking a hit. Just take a minute, sit back and think if you really want to take that hit. Of course, then at that point, you probably have more of a balanced mindset. But if you're going to take hits, I'd say, plan them. Or obviously, if someone gets a really bad injury or something like that and you need them, it's different because then you have to make that change, which might incorporate a hit. So, I agree, man.
I think, as well, it can be the price factor. A lot of last year where I moved on hits would be because a certain player is going up or down in price. I had very, very healthy budget towards the end of last season, and the way it fell with my wildcard, I didn't really even need it. I think I finished the season with quite a lot in the bank. That's not to say that'll be the case this season and that I won't need it. I think there's definite argument for building team value at the beginning, but sometimes I think it's okay to let that 0.1 million drop, like you said, and sleep on it and really think about it before you make that transfer. Whereas I have been guilty in the past of going, I'm going to lose that 0.1 million if I don't go for that player now, so I must make that transfer, So that's another thing I'll try and work on a bit this season and not feel quite so pressured by the price rises.
Last season's a great example when you and I jumped on Gundogan.
Yeah.
You and I probably both had 3 or 4 million in the bank for probably about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But the man was smashing it. So
Absolutely. Yeah, he was. And that's the good side of it. On the other side of it was when I went for Ben Mee and when everyone else was, and I got the 0.1 in him, went early on him, and he did absolutely nothing when I should have gone back to Dallas instead and would have got more points but not gained the 0.1. So, there's definite kind of pluses and minuses. Do you think they should lock? Here's something I think would be quite good, but I want to know your guys' thoughts on it. Do you think they should lock the prices whilst the game week is active? So basically, if we've got Sunday's the last game, if Monday's the last game, do you think all prices should be locked until that Sunday or Monday when the new game week starts again? So that you're not having to make your transfers for the next game week in the middle of a possible game week just based on the fact that you may not be able to afford the player for the next game week.
I can see the appeal in that, but my answer would be no. Because I think that gives you more decisions to make, which ups maybe the skill level that's required for the game. Do you make that move because you're that confident? Do you wait? So it's another decision that has to be made, and I think the more decisions that you have to make in the game, the harder it is to play. The harder it is to do well in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree with what Jay said.
And John, I'm not tired, I'm just watching the game and trying to stream at the same time.
Yeah, both myself and Jay really want France to win, and Ray really doesn't want France to win. So,
challenge, mate. That's
Kurt?
it. Break Pogba.
No, I don't think they should lock it. It's fine and it works the way it works at the moment. Don't start changing something.
There's other things they could fix.
Yeah, tell me about it.
There are other things that you're desperate.
All right, then let's talk about the chips. What would you change?
I quite like the chips.
Would you add another one? Freshen it up?
Or bring in Limitless.
My rich uncle.
Being able to give money to other players, spare cash.
For points, though, surely. I'm not just giving someone money.
Oh, yeah, obviously. For points.
Yeah, triple captain. I'd throw away the triple captain chip.
Yeah, I'd sell that for some points.
Yeah, it's so stressful for hardly any points, really, in essence, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you went for Bruno in
Maybe
that
triple.
second double game week, then
Or Salah,
and that was
or
that
Salah
was
and
happy
riding
times.
it like an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we at now? 18. This is going to pens, isn't it, at the moment?
If it goes to penalties, I'll be darting off and we're still live because I'm not watching that in a party of people.
Why not? Have you got anyone?
I can watch it on the other room of my TV when I'm as live thing, but I've got Bet365 updates telling me 30 minutes before something happens if something happens. And I'm behind everyone else in terms of what happens on my phone. So you got 10 more minutes occur and that's it. He's gone.
Oh, right. Okay. So you just get 3 Wildcats if it goes to penalties. So come on, France. Oh, I thought they scored.
Do me a favour,
just leave
your computer on, Kat. Leave your computer on.
Yeah, like
just leave your computer on.
Yeah, just leave the palm trees blowing in the wind. I would like raised on there.
Oh no!
Oh, we're getting chucked off air. Oh dear.
What Mbappe?
Nuclear says horrible idea. I know you love FPL, but do you sometimes think over time that love has become an addiction? Oh yeah. Yeah, we're addicted to FPL. There's no getting around that, I would say. Do you agree, Jay?
I don't know.
Do you really think you could not play a season? Genuinely.
Not play a season.
Well, then you're addicted because you keep coming back every season, surely.
Yeah, there's a reason I come back. But anyway, I probably wouldn't mind a season off. Kind of helps me feed my children a bit now. Well, I'm not making that much, but it does help. But
I need more
you know what? I wouldn't mind
Make sure you go to
off.
FPL and improve your subscribers.
I wouldn't mind one season off. Preferably the season just gone or the season before that one. Because I think I'll enjoy it much more this season now that we might have the Saturday free. We have the Saturday 3 o'clock games again, don't we?
I think so.
Yeah. And I feel like it won't feel as rushed and as such a quick turnaround. So I'm looking forward to this season because I like kind of the periods where there's more time to think about things and try and calculate which decision is best. Whereas some points last season, it felt like I had a day to make my choices. And I felt very rushed. So I wouldn't mind taking last season off. But yeah, I would play every season. But I would like 1 year off at some point.
Yeah. But you still don't think you're addicted?
I feel like if I didn't have my YouTube channel, I could give it up. I could not play a season. I believe that.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Nuclear's just said, if you're going to take the season off, fine, I'm unsubscribing. I'm not taking the season off. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, I think I am. I can't imagine not playing it now. I think even if I didn't have my channel, I think I would struggle not to play it. So, and what about you, Ray? Do you? Well, you're probably going to say no. I would have thought, but Nuclear was just asking us: do we think that the love of FPL is a fine line between that and addiction, like feeling like slightly addicted to the game?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, I chatted with you offline about it. Is balancing the fun aspect rather than the obsession, getting to a point where it becomes a bit stressful in a negative aspect. I mean, stress is never positive, obviously, but you know what I mean. But first time I ever played a fantasy football game, the Sun actually, was in 2004, and it's always just been a hobby and enjoyment for me. And I've won money before, like finishing not like cash leagues, but actually in the game of Dream Team.
That's cool.
But I still kept it very much like sure, it's addictive. I play with it a lot, but it's because I enjoy it. It's like, I enjoy playing it, and that's why it's addictive. But I think for yourself and Jay, it's very different to me because obviously your content creators around FPL where you actually, make an earning out of it, which is excellent. I'm really happy for both of you. So I think the question is more towards you guys is obviously you wouldn't stop it while you're content creating, but if you weren't content creating, I think you're so involved and you routinely check it and probably enjoy it. When I speak to both of you, I always feel there's engagement when you talk about FPL. So it's just like another game. It's the equivalent of people enjoying FIFA for me. Is FPL's that game.
I don't enjoy FIFA, but I still play it.
I play Pro Evo now, mate. You should play PES. PES is so much better.
I used to play PES back in the day, but just
me too, man.
I know plays FIFA.
Yeah,
me too, actually. Yeah.
Me too. No, I play it now, man. It's really good. It's really, really good. But yeah, I mindset wise, I always look at it as just a game. So as long as I keep doing that, I'll always play.
Yeah. Kurt, do you feel addicted at all to FPL?
No.
Just me then.
I could give it up. I mean, the case in point is that I'm the only one here that hasn't done the Euro Fantasy. And
no, I didn't do Euro.
Oh, you didn't do Euro? Okay, so for me, watching Euro football without fantasy, and I think I attempted to do it during the World Cup in 2018, I think it's been absolutely brilliant. Because I don't think...
I've enjoyed it.
I'm not really looking at this game thinking, I could do with a Giroud assist or a goal here or something like that. I'm watching it thinking, this is a brilliant game of football. And if I wasn't an idiot earlier and saw Spain go 3-1 up whilst I was at the gym and think, okay, I'll get off the bike and do something else and watch the rest of it on the bike, I'd have thought the same thing earlier, but I didn't. So. I just think the way this has gone right now, thinking, I could easily just hang up my boots and say, no, that's me done. Because some of those games that become enthralling in the Premier League, you're then sort of marred by thinking, well, I mean, although it's a brilliant game, I could do with a couple of goals for Mo Salah here.
You are
I do
so
get
right.
that feeling sometimes.
You are so right. I made a huge error in doing fantasy Euro. Not because I'm doing shit, but because I can't enjoy the games properly.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that is one thing that's been really refreshing with Euros for me, actually, is just being able to enjoy them. But I have found that the lesser games, the games that I guess are just on, and they've got teams that aren't big teams and stuff, I have found that I haven't really paid that much attention or watched them as much, whereas that's what the FPL does give me, is that I will stupidly sit there and watch like a Burnley-Brighton game
that's a good point.
to see if I'm going to get a clean sheet out of it, So.
Every Denmark game I could watch, I've watched because of Mayhill. I don't know how to say so.
And Myler,
Yeah, Myler. Just like... And Sweden-Ukraine was a big game for me, and I'm like, I probably wouldn't have watched that if I didn't have players from Euro Fantasy.
Nuclear does have another one. Do you like putting all your eggs in one basket, like going triple up on two teams, which has good long-term fixtures, or would you still care about being versatile? Kurt,
I feel like
what
I've
do you
answered
think?
this lots. Go on, Kurt.
Yeah, I tend to try and stay away from tripling up on two teams. But if the fixtures look good, you can go against the rule.
I think it all just depends, doesn't it? It depends on the team and it depends on the fixtures. I mean, there are some teams you'd definitely triple up on for their fixtures, and then there are other teams that you probably wouldn't, although we do always get a bit tempted, I think, by certain players and certain teams just because of their fixtures. But I am going to try this season to not be swayed by the fixtures, because I say I'm going to do that every year. And the times when I have actually done that, it's gone quite well. But the years when I kind of go, ooh, so-and-so's got really great fixtures, but they're really rubbish. Like, I'm going to sit here going, get kinky female in my team because Watford have a great run of 4 fixtures. I have to stop myself and go, no, stay away from Kiko Firmino, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, because I actually brought him in a couple of times and got decent points off of him. So I'm quite fond of kinky female.
Yeah, you had better luck with the King of Humor than what I did. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it just depends on the teams and the fixtures and where we are in the season, really. But I have no problem, say, if those two teams are Liverpool and City,
What a
for
save.
instance, or Everton's going to be a popular one at the start of the season, aren't they? Really, with those fixtures.
Managers. And I'm only really interested in Digne and Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
But all it needs is a good pre-season, Rodriguez to be doing well, or Richarlison to be doing well, or maybe they play free at the back and Coleman starts looking good.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, we've tripped. Oh, yeah, I'm a bit behind you. Just saw that say.
I generally don't like tripling up purely because I feel like putting that many of my players into one side, even when it's one of the really good sides, you run the risk of it going wrong for a couple of game weeks. I prefer generally 2 at most. But, of course, when you look at teams like Man City, when, of course, they had just such a great defensive record, and you had the likes of Stones, Diaz, Cancelo, Ilkay, all coming in at prices that were pretty favourable, I think then you can't really argue against a triple up. But I think if you've invested a lot of money in one player...
Sorry.
Just a little soundbite there.
Sorry, guys, I'm swearing a little bit. You're trash, mate.
Hey, Alex, the kid. We're kind of watching the French match too.
Well, it's full time now.
Okay, so we're going to be losing. We're going to be losing Kurt now. Then
just leave your computer on. That's all I ask.
just don't go. Stay.
No, he
Watch
can
it
go.
with us.
Just keep the computer on.
No, because one of you would say, "Oh, what a save!" And, "Oh, what a save!" And, "Oh, what a save!"
What if we all promise?
You've already told me.
What if we all promise not to say anything until you react? How's that?
That's not fair.
But he
on
reacts
you guys.
first because he's watching it on
I've
the
got my
TV.
Bet365 thing that I can't turn off as well. So I know before everyone else, and then I see the thing.
Just go.
He knows it before the actual game.
All he'll do is, if you look at the screen, he'll look at my face, and I'll be like...
Yeah, be like, "Oh, yeah, don't spoil it for me." Okay, all 3 of you. I wonder what happened here.
No, I think we can do deadpan faces. I mean, Ray just frees himself.
It's all right. I'll leave you in the capable hands of me.
There we go. Some people might be confused.
I will come back, maybe.
Oh, he has hair again. Right then.
See you in 5.
See you in yeah.
Well, like someone said, so many penalties have been missed this tournament. We might be here a while.
That's
Brian
true.
Newell said it.
Could be. How long can you stick it out, Jay, before we fall off air?
I mean, I just asked
I kind of want to watch it and then come back on stream.
I don't think I should go on too long after the match, or Mrs. Jane might just pull the plug like Brett did.
It's all good. We'll try and stick out a little bit longer with you guys for the pens. Like, we'll see how far we go, and then we'll do our best. Ray, if you want to go, me and Jay will hold the fort. I don't know.
Love, guys.
Waiting for a delay.
love. Well,
don't
guys...
leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. You have to leave this up.
Okay,
leave
cool,
the computer on.
Leave the computer on.
I'll come back when it finishes.
Come back
when it finishes.
Okay. All right.
Well, in that case, I'll see you lot. Just leave blank screens.
Yeah.
You know what? All of us should leave the screen.
We should pause for a few minutes and then come
Guys,
back.
if you're really loyal WildCats, we need to come up with a name with them, man.
Yeah,
you got
give
your
us
NIM
some
fam. We need to come up with something.
Give some suggestions in the chat of what we can call. You were
the Wild
myself
Kittens.
and Jay did call the Jamboree, because that is like a kind of gathering of wildcats is called a Jamboree. But let us know if anyone else has.
A party, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's where it came from, really. You know, they can party with us. Yeah, but if anyone else has any other cool suggestions, stick it in the chat, let us know. And
how about the Wild Cubs?
Wild Cubs? That's quite cool.
Wild Kittens. I like that one.
Yeah. Wildcats. Makes them sound young though.
It
You
does.
know?
Wild Cubs. Wild Cubs. Not too bad. Nuclear, you're talking a lot. Come up with some. Right, guys.
Just keep answering my questions.
Just leave the computer running and mute and come back. All right? Okay. All right.
Just
hey,
in the
Jay.
background, Ray going, yeah! Or Kurt going, yeah!
Oh, we need like a screenshot for Ray. To stick up
If
and
Kurt was here, he could give it to you.
Yes,
No wonder.
true. The one where he's just frozen like. So what are you calling then, Jay? Let's have some predictions.
Oh, what, on the penalties?
Yeah.
I'd like to think France have enough experienced penalty takers, but the way this tournament's going, it wouldn't surprise me if Switzerland pull it out like 4-3 on penalties.
4-3. Yeah, I'm getting a bit worried as well. Switzerland maybe 5-4. I'll go one more than you.
Sommer's looked good as well, to be fair to him.
Brian says a group of Wildcats is called Destruction.
Sounds like a bit of a weird thing to call our subscribers.
Yeah, I don't think.
What's up, Destruction?
Yo, Destruction!
Sounds like I'm talking to a wrestler.
Yeah. And welcome to the chat, Destruction. It feels like they'd need their own entry music or something.
Right, my penalties are just about to start. I don't know about yours.
No, I'm a tiniest bit behind.
All right, I will try and hold back my reaction.
Okay. All right.
Switzerland are up first.
I could try and kind of go out and go back in. I don't know whether that would catch me up or whether it would. Let me try. This is where I lose it completely now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you just don't get anything.
Yeah. So many people tuned in that it's just like, okay. Yeah, I think I'm there. Larice is just going into the middle of the goal. So John says Scotland are out, Kurt. Yeah, that's that's Kurt's older brother. Kurt Seamus.
Kurt Seamus.
Kurt Seamus. Love it. That was fast. Quite quick-witted by you. Okay, right. Let me tell you when I've seen the first one, and then you'll know how far behind in front you are. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Unless it's happened already, which I think it has. Okay, I'm gonna try not to look at the chat. Okay, okay, they've scored.
What,
Am I really that far behind?
Yeah. I've already got the French guy stepping up.
Wow. Okay. So going out and come back in didn't make much difference then. Okay.
I might just not tell you who I'm reacting to. That way.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be fun.
This is so difficult.
Mig is like, wow, what a pen buy. I don't mind being a bit delayed. You react, Jay. You react for the viewers. I'm all good. I'm happy to watch it secondhand.
Oh, I feel bad doing that.
No, as long as France win. Yeah, no, you go for it.
It's just me going deadpan.
Yeah, and then me going, woo, ooh. Yeah, no, you go for it.
All right, Pogba's scored, by the way, so it's 1.
Yeah, literally just saw him do that, so. Okay.
Oh, calm as you like. Who is that? Number 22 for Switzerland. Just places it top corner. That's like he's in the training ground.
Top bins.
It's not even like he blasted it there. He just kind of stepped up and went, bang, there you go.
Have that. Why not?
Who is that guy? I want to know who he is. That was a really good penalty. Get him at West Ham. There's some penalties.
To be fair, Arsenal could do with something. To be fair, City could do with some.
Pep's going, hello.
Yeah. Who's that
Rotate
guy?
with Harry Kane.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, they could do with paying that money just so they can score some
Or it
penalties.
looks like Giroud's up next for France.
Ooh. Mr. Handsome. Or some would say.
good penalty. There's been better penalties. I think all of the penalties before this were better.
Yeah. But, you know, France is still in it for us,
Look,
more importantly.
As long as it goes in, it doesn't really matter how you took it.
Yeah, that's true. Our one went in when we went to the football museum. I didn't quite realise how far away the spot was to the goal, though. I have to admit, when we did that, I felt so far away for tiny old me.
because it's been a long time since I played like proper 11-a-side. Yeah, you forget how far away it actually is.
Yeah, you were good though. You were really good. I was shocking. Just so weak.
Oh, these Switzerland players look confident.
Yeah. Well, we now 3-2 to them.
3-2, yeah.
This has got me worried, Jay. It's got me worried.
Apparently 22 was Newcastle's player, Shah.
Was it?
The one that I said took a really good pen.
Nice. Really?
Okay,
oh,
never mind.
Didn't we have him? Didn't we have him in our teams? He's neither defender. We had him in our team a couple of seasons ago, didn't we?
Yeah, there was a couple of seasons ago where
like
he was
an
scoring
attacking,
screamers.
yeah, like an attacking defender. Yeah, nice. Oh, yeah, they are looking quite confident, aren't they? Okay, so we've levelled up. Oh, I really need France to get through. This is stressing me out a bit.
Summer was close to that one. Charam from Mönchengladbach.
Oh, look at you with the knowledge, just dropping the knowledge.
I could be wrong. That's mainly FIFA, to be fair, as well.
That Football Manager helps a lot in these situations.
I've not played that much Football Manager this year, or the season just gone. Purely because there was so much FPL stuff to make.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a bit mad for us, hasn't it? So maybe this season we'll get a bit more fun, and maybe we'll get back to the FPL WildCats gaming this season at some point. And every now and again, once a month.
Oh. Okay. Switzerland scored, but Laurie's got a hand to it.
Oof.
Lloris is going to be disappointed. Stronger hand.
Apparently, Nuclear says Curtis France in the same sweepstake that he's in. He's got England. That's why he's not watching then with us. He doesn't want the disappointment on live on screen.
Get Bob on Shea, tuck it away.
Wow. This is going long, isn't it?
Yep. Is that Kimpembe taking a pen? Is he really the best option?
It's gone past your prediction, Jay. It's now on my prediction.
Oh, good pen, Kimpembe. I'll take it back. Yeah, for all. So what I said before it started about there being a lot of pen misses, been completely wrong with that, haven't I?
Well, don't say that right before the Frenchman stands up.
No. It's a Swiss guy.
Don't curse us.
It's a Swiss guy next.
Okay.
It's 4-4 at the moment.
Okay. I forget I'm behind.
Nuclear, I don't know when you requested Wildcats Gaming, but we did it first lockdown, I believe, when we started it. Alright, 5-4.
Oh, mate, it's tense. It's tense.
Oh, my Euro fantasy football game is ruined if France go out.
Oh,
that's
no,
like
Nuclear.
5 or 6 players.
Nuclear asked me about my gaming channel a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's just something we might do here and there every now and again for the Wildcats. We do have a Wildcats channel. We did it in the lockdown, wasn't it, Jay? The first lockdown?
First lockdown.
So,
when there was no FPL. We had a lot of time on our hands.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have as much time on our hands anymore. Okay, where we at? Oh, Ah, you spoil it.
Mbappe, out of all people. Ray's come back. Did Ray come back before I even saw the penalty?
You spoil it.
Okay, I didn't see Ray, so I didn't know. But wow, France
You
out.
spoil it for me, Ray. So annoyed.
I'm telling you
I'm
what,
gonna
if
watch
England
this.
beat Germany, a lot of the big teams are out now.
As if, man, as if. Oh
This
my
is
god,
upset.
that's
This is
shocking.
This is
That's
upset
shocking.
tournament. This is.
Right, I want my Czech team to go and win it then. Come on, Czechs.
The golden boy.
Oh
Wow.
god, let's look at the damage. My Euro team's in tatters.
Someone saved their wild card.
So how does that make you ahead of Jay? Do you have to choose a particular team to do well or something?
He's basically he
Well,
can change his team now to take into effect the teams that have gone through. I don't have the wild card because I played it already, so I can't. And I've only got 3 transfers for the next game week. And
oh yeah, and you can't take hits, can you?
I think you can.
Okay, but maybe limited. But yeah. So basically, everyone went limitless match day 2 and kind of wildcard match day 3. I did limitless match day 3 to save the wildcard in case like Holland and if anyone like got knocked out.
Okay.
So I have lost.
That went a little bit over my head, but okay.
Benzema, Kimpembe, Stecklenburg, Depay, Dumfries, Wijnaldum. That's 6 players I've lost.
Okay, that doesn't sound good.
And if Ukraine beat Sweden, then that's 7 players I've lost.
Guys, by the way, I think Jay and I actually like each other, but we seem to have this rivalry that just came out holistically.
They hate each other, just so
I can
We
just
actually get on. We get on really
can-
well.
They really
I can have a
don't.
look
This is
at
all
how many
Very
points
sharp.
ahead of how many points ahead of Ray am I in the Euro game?
Probably like 50 or 60 because I'm pathetic at it.
I'm on. Well, I know it was quite a bit beforehand. I'm not going to embarrass you now.
No, go ahead. I'm trash at it.
Wow. Mctavish, Granit Xhaka in the tournament.
So
longer
I'm
and
on
Mbappe. Ronaldo,
230.
just take that in. It's the hair. It's the Aguero hair.
Give me some time to scroll down the FPL WildCats mini league.
Oh, yes, do make sure you're in the league. Make sure you're in the league, guys. The code is on the screen.
It's funny enough,
that's for the FPL
I
league,
made the
yes.
league. I'm the chairman of the league, and I'm like around the bottom. I'm just keeping it up. I'm keeping it up.
Cool, guys. Oh, hang on.
Well,
We're
there
going to
you are.
wait and see the difference
So-
between Jay and Ray before we go.
It says you're on 184 and I'm on 230.
Wow. But when it
So-
updates, it will still be around the same.
I think so.
No, because we got like the same players, I think, today.
Yeah,
Oh.
same captain as well.
It just
You
sounded
have
funny.
Griezmann.
It's just
Griezmann got an assist.
oh, none
I
of
don't
us
have
got any
Griezmann.
more points. Ooh,
Say it again?
Griezmann.
You have Griezmann and I don't. Griezmann's done more than my Lukaku.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lukaku was a bit
Step by step.
step.
No, I'm trying to look at the rules here.
No, yeah, but no, yeah, no.
Hey, just
Chill.
for every transfer you make beyond your quota of free transfers, you'll have 4 points deducted from your points total. Number of free transfers before quarterfinals, 3. Yeah, I don't think you can. Yeah, there are no free transfers.
I thought you'd frozen again then. Yeah, I don't think you can.
You can't carry any free. I'm joking. You stalked. Love
I
it.
did.
And once the knockout stage starts, you can't carry any free transfers forward between match days. Yeah, actually,
Kurt's not
Jay.
coming back nuclear. 'cause
So
he's
I've got
beaten.
3 transfers, and then
He's
any
too
more that
scared.
I make other than that, I'm losing -4.
Yeah, but where does it say that?
Throughout the competition, for every transfer you make beyond your quota of free transfers, you'll have 4 points deducted from your points total.
Oh, no. How many
So
are you gonna make,
disappointing.
Jay? Yeah, I'm actually gutted.
Well,
I'm
he's
not
got
telling
6
you.
players out, so at least half of those. Love how
This
he was
depends.
just
I'll
about
have
to
to
say
use
something.
my
He was
new
like, oh, can't
strategy.
say it. Can't
I'll have
say
to
it.
use my new strategy of only taking the hits if I think it's necessary.
Oh yeah,
We'll see as I'm not playing.
he's got
Love that.
he's got
Love
an FPL. He's got an FPL Euro 2020.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do, and he'll win it. We watch. He'll still come top 10k. He'll sneak it. Oh, here he is. Here he is. We just heard, Kurt, about your rivalry with Nuclear, with him having England and you having France in the same sweepstake. No wonder you didn't want to watch it with us.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
You guys did a sweepstake. Where was I?
I don't know. I was thinking, how is Nuclear in a sweepstake with Kurt? What's
I don't
happened
know.
there?
I think it's a fellow streamer, but there's no money involved in that, so I don't really have too much interest in it. I'm in a couple of sweepstakes where it's a £5 entry, and that's it.
Good night, John, mate. Good night, John Tanner.
Night, John. Anyway, we should be off as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed and had a bit of a laugh and a chilled evening with us. This is pretty much what we do here at the Wildcats. I think we had a suggestion by, was it Brian, for the destruction?
Oh, yeah,
Apparently that's what a group of Wildcats is called, a destruction.
Oh, damn.
But Jay said it sounded like a wrestler, so we're not sure on that one. We might have to put it out on Twitter and see if we can get some suggestions. But I'll pass you over to Jay to wrap us up.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us. Welcome back to FPL. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with when we go live, as well as following us on Twitter. It's at FPL WildCats, and also check us out on Instagram, the exact same, FPL WildCats. Thank you once again, and we will catch you guys for the next stream. See you later.